everyone, and welcome to BookTrib's 15 Minutes With, a Merrill Moss Media production. Today we are thrilled to welcome legal analyst and Fox News Channel's Lis Wiehl. Lis is also a professor of law at New York Law School and has served as a federal prosecutor in the United States Attorney's Office. Lis is also a New York Times bestselling author and has written both fiction and nonfiction. Her newest novel, The Candidate, is on sale October 4th and is part of the Newsmakers series following TV reporter Erica Sparks. Welcome, Lis. It's so great to get to talk to you today.
It's great to be with you. It's excited to be here.
Oh, good. Well, we're happy to have you. Let's first talk about The Candidate, of course. Can you tell us what this one's all about and who we're meeting in this novel?
Yes. We follow our intrepid news reporter, Erica Sparks. She's at Global News Network, a fast-growing global news network in New York City, and she's now a star at Global News Network. She's following the two candidates. One is the first Hispanic male to be at the forefront of the candidacy for the presidency of the United States, and the other is the first woman president candidate, and they are coming right smack into the election in November, and Erica is following them as they go into this political arena. She's following them both. Now, she's, as again, a star of this major news network. In New York City, so she's following them all over the country, doing all of these interviews in this political thriller. And as she goes along, following them so closely with her group, with her reporting group, she begins to notice, as she spends some more time with them and with their families, because she is such a star, that she gets this close access to them. Something is just rotten in Denmark. That there's just something very, very wrong with one of the characters, and there's just flaws that are just becoming more and more apparent. Mike Ortiz, the Hispanic male candidate, has spent some time as a POW. Okay. She begins to research that and what some of that time may have done to him. He's also married to a billionaire wife with Chinese connections that came to do with when she was in law school, and she had a joint MBA degree, and some people that she met there in China. So she's got these very many business connections. So she starts to investigate that. The woman candidate also has some interesting different connections. So she starts to realize that Erica starts, as she begins to know more, she finds herself in more perils. People around her start dropping off like flies. And as she begins to know more, she begins to find herself in more and more danger. Can't give away too much. You guys need to go out there and read this book too. But she just begins to think that things are just not what they seem to be. There are some things that become very, very apparent to her. And as we get closer and closer into it, she starts to realize that she has to really save not only the presidency, but the whole country, and really much bigger picture than that. Of course, it's really the entire world, because if this candidate becomes elected, it will not be that person running the country. It will be a whole cabal that will be running the country, and hence really the world.
Whoa. Okay. So there is a lot going on there.
That's a lot for poor Erica to handle.
I know. And in this book, you actually delve into, as you just explained, the politics. And the first book didn't have any kind of politics in it. What made you go this route for the second in the series?
Well, I thought there are a lot of parallels as to what's going on right now.
Absolutely.
This is obviously a big political season. It is being released, as you said, October 4th. And I honestly did not realize how close this book would be. Because as you know, books are written and they sit there for a while. They have to go through many edits and edit line. First, your main editor, and then it goes to a line edit. And then it has to go through the process where it goes to the factory. And it is still, that process. So this book was actually turned in. Well, it was in the spring at the very latest. It was when it's for the line editing. And when, doing the rereading and all of that, and I was looking at it going, man, I had no idea some of the parallels that my brain was coming up with that would actually be playing out in real life. So when you go through this and read it now, I mean, didn't know how prescient I really was.
Well,
And
there's
there's one debate that there is actually a Rubio moment. Do you remember that Rubio moment where he lost his whole campaign candidacy, where he just kept saying the same thing, was just
over and
bizarre?
over. Yep.
There's a Rubio moment in the candidate.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right?
Wow, that's crazy. So
It is.
it's funny because I was going to ask you, did you time that? It's so perfectly timed. Was it timed, or is this just kind of happenstance? Because I think, as most people know in publishing, as you were just saying, it really does take a while. So had you written this knowing somewhere in that time, or it just kind of came together that way?
A little bit of both. I will tell you, the book was supposed to come out 2 weeks later, I think, like the 15th. And about 3-4 months ago, the publisher and I came together and said, we need to push this up. It needs 2 more weeks in front of the public, because there's just so much good stuff in here. And we did. And we kind of went to the, different outlets. We went to sales folks and said, went to Amazon, said, can we really push this up? And fortunately, it was in just the nick of the time that it hadn't really gotten out there too far, and we were able to do it, and we moved it up 2 weeks to October 4th, and I'm glad we did.
Absolutely.
I'm really glad we did.
Absolutely. So what can fans of the first book, looking forward to the next in the series, really look forward to in this book?
Well, if you've read Newsmakers, you're going to remember Erica. So she's the same old plucky woman, this reporter, flawed. I don't write about perfect people, because perfect people, first of all, they don't exist. And they're boring. They're boring. But you'll remember Erica and her quirky characteristics. She only wears clip-on earrings. That's our Erica.
Oh, I love that.
She plays solitaire in her office. This is Erica's office. When she gets nervous or just has to really think and concentrate, she'll get in her office and close the door. That's the back door back. Is the back of my office where the dresses are here in the back. And she'll take out her deck of cards and she'll play solitaire to really think things through and clear her mind. That's our Erica. That's her same girl. She's a single mom of Jenny. That's all the same. All the backstories are there. Absolutely. All global news network, all the same thing. Because the fun of it too is, it's not all just the political, hard-driving political thriller, which is fun, but it's also getting behind the scenes of global news network and all the cattiness, the gossipy stuff of a major news network, and all that, the political stuff, the small political with a small p that goes into being at a major news network in New York City. So that's all there. All of that stuff for fans of Newsmakers, or even if you haven't, it doesn't matter. You're going to be inside in the bowels of a major cable news network, and you're going to see Erica. She goes day through that, and through our Erica's eyes. And so that's just the fun part. You're going to have all of that again, her love life and all those trials and tribulations. That's all going to be there for you. Right. Read Newsmakers or not, it's all there for you through Erica's eyes again. That's wonderful. Well, I'm sure fans are scrambling. You can pre-order it, everyone, just so that you know, on Lisa's site. And Newsmakers isn't your only series. You've got a bunch of other books. What kind of inspires your novels? Where do you get your stories from typically? Just come to you, or? A little bit of both. Awesome. I grew up with an English teaching mom who immigrated from Denmark and got her PhD, got her PhD in English literature. Oh my goodness. Right. Taught at community college, taught English, taught Shakespeare at English. So she taught Americans, right, English. Okay. So it was her second language. A daughter of an FBI agent. Oh my goodness! And it became a third-generation federal prosecutor after granddad and dad, and then myself. So my mom taught. My father was in law enforcement. Mm-hmm. Both of them storytellers in very different ways. Absolutely. So how could I not really kind of I melded storytelling and writing and law enforcement. And that was really what was really behind the Triple Threat series, which was my first series where I had a federal prosecutor, a TV reporter, and an FBI agent. I mean, it was just the most natural thing in the whole wide world. And three 3 women. Again, not perfect women,
Right.
flawed women in very different ways, because again, perfect women they don't exist and they're boring. But I write about them in, very different ways, strong women, flawed women, but women that we can relate to. And I think that's
Absolutely.
just so important. And so I've been the daughter of an FBI agent, worked with FBI agents when I was a federal prosecutor, been a federal prosecutor, and now been in the television business covering crime stories for 15 years. So I've either prosecuted many of these cases or I've covered these cases. And so I can either take them from what I prosecuted or covered, or the beauty of fiction is blend those things together. Because you don't have to footnote your navel like you do in nonfiction.
Right.
The beauty of it is you can mush it together and put it out there, and it's fiction.
Absolutely.
It's fiction.
That's the best part of it.
It's great. And entertain.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's not forget that while we're educating and talking about serious subjects, which I do in my books, I talk about serious subjects, and I do not downgrade to readers, and I keep it clean. I also have fun. These are supposed to be fun.
We all do, absolutely.
These are curl up at night and have your fun time. Put your little nightlight on, turn off the TV, and have fun and just enjoy yourself.
Definitely.
Life's tough. Enjoy yourself.
And I think something like that also really comes across while reading it in the writing. I think if the author is having fun, then the reader will.
I hope so. I hope you're right.
Definitely.
That's what you want to be able to do. You want to learn, you want to entertain, you want to educate, but you also want to just have that wink, we're having fun here too, guys.
Exactly. Do you find that for you, writing the first in a series gives you a little more hiccups or a little tougher, or is it the following books that kind of give you that roadblock?
Never say roadblock. I'll call everything.
No writer's block.
Never say roadblock. Roadblock does not exist. The first one is kind of when you're kind of figuring out who they are.
Absolutely.
Before you really know who they are. It's like there's some basic characteristics, but you don't know them inside out. Like you don't have that jacket. You don't have that warm. You just brought the jacket home from the store, but you don't have that warm. You haven't watched it a million times kind of feeling. So it does get easier that way because you know exactly what your character would do. Okay. You know her so well. So the first time is not. I guess not. It's just that getting to know you sort of stage. That beyond that, then it's easier in the sense you know how she would react more. That's just out. That's just it. It's just like she's been through the washing machine a few more times.
Right.
That's kind of horrible. Sorry, Erica. Sorry.
We didn't mean to put you through the washer, but we did.
Throw you in the washer a few more times. Had you over for pizza a couple more times. Know that you liked your pineapple and Canadian ham.
Exactly.
It's such a West Coast thing.
I know, yeah, that's not East Coast.
That's what I grew up with.
So I think we do have a number of aspiring writers that watch
Excellent.
our videos. What kind of advice could you give as someone who, you're so busy, you have such an already established career, and now you've added author over the years to that. What kind of advice do you have to those that they're working full time, but they would love to publish that first book?
My creative writing teacher in college made us write. This was back in the day when we wrote on things called typewriters.
Yes.
And she made us, we had a seminar, creative writing class. We met once a week, and we had to come in and we had to have written a page a day. And it's just such a simple thing. Like maybe you would really cram and you'd write all your pages for the week the night before, which probably was not a great idea, but maybe you would have done that. But you just had to come in that seminar and you'd all sit around. A lot of times we'd go back to her apartment and, just to have, like back in the day, you could do that. You sit around and you'd have coffee or whatever, sometimes within the classroom, but you had to present your pages for that week. And I would say, and I think it's really important, especially now with the computer, you can just press, delete. Write, even if it's not a page a day, write 7 pages a week. Just write
Absolutely.
7 pages in 7 days, and just write it. Just even if even after it's not good, just get that discipline of writing, because
Yeah.
that horrible word you said a few minutes ago, starting with a B,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't do that, then it'll become that more and more daunting, and that word is going to feel more and more, like that word's going to be there. But if you keep writing that 7 pages, after 3 weeks, then you have 21 pages. Then you have more, then that just adds up, just that sheer bulk. I have those pages, and that just feels great. And soon enough, you have, 60 pages, then you have 100 pages, and then you have enough pages to show somebody. And then that makes you feel better. And then even if a good friend of mine is Steve Barry, who, of course, everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me once that he had so many rejections. And then he hit, paid her with his first, his first cotton book. And then they went back and looked at novels that had been rejected, and he got those accepted. So there's Steve Barry, who's,
Absolutely.
God,
Mm-hmm.
and he got his first novels rejected.
Right.
So just write a page a day.
Excellent advice. Probably what we do get the most from authors, and it is the most tried and true. I mean, it really does hit home the most.
It's simple.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. Can you talk about anything that you're currently working on, or what's coming next, or what fans can expect?
Well, we're already working on the 3rd book for Erica. Poor thing. She should just stay home, take a break. Just stay under the covers. Every time she gets out, she gets blown up.
Busy.
Knives going at her. It's just tough. But we're working on the 3rd book for Erica. It has to do, you know how England just separated and all that. I mean, so writing this 3rd one, I'm going like, there was almost a switch because of the England thing. Like, should we switch the 2 and go with this 3rd one if I can finish it fast enough? Because it was just, again, I can't believe this is happening. But then it was like, no, we got to stick with the candidate because it's the candidate. And so, but it's just like the whole separation there with England, and I can't give you the title because it'll give too much away.
Okay,
but
that's okay.
Yeah, it's another adventure for Erica coming.
Excellent. Well, we are all looking forward to it, and I think most people are really looking forward to getting the candidate. It is coming out October 4th, everyone.
Yes.
Pre-order, go order it,
please.
grab it.
LisWiehlBooks.com.
Yes, absolutely. And we are doing a giveaway. 2 lucky readers are going to get... Yes, 2 lucky readers are going to get the candidate. You can sign up for our newsletter at BookTrib.com, and you will see it in there as a giveaway. And we are really looking forward to it, and we can't thank you enough for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me on BookTrib.com. Go BookTrib.com.
Oh, thank you. And you have a great rest of your day, and thank you to everyone watching.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, Lis.